companies and individuals have defaulted on loans as the continent struggles to get a handle on the economic difficulties brought about by the pandemic. This week, I'm on a mission to find out how loan defaulters can avoid heavy penalties and how they can take advantage of measures put in place by governments to cushion the effects of the pandemic.
Smart Money takes a short break. When we return,
almost my entire gratuity that was paid to me by my company was taken away by the bank.
Take a loan, expand your business, they say. But when COVID-19 hit and brought many businesses to their knees, these loans suddenly became massive burdens. Even though governments in sub-Saharan Africa have put in place measures to provide respite in loan repayments, these measures may not protect everyone. I'm in Lagos, Nigeria to find out what individuals and businesses that have yet to pay off their loans before the pandemic are doing to get ahead.
Seyi Odewale lost his job with a company in which he had worked for over 10 years in Lagos as the pandemic hit businesses. He says his outstanding bank loan was the reason he lost the gratuity that would have been his fallback.
Some of us were asked to go, on leave of absence. That was the term they used. They said they're giving us 3 months between May and August. So technically, I would say I lost that job around May. And they said they'll be paying 20% of our basic salary. 20%. So we had to go. When it was time to call us back, they issued a letter of separation asking us to leave the company. And they said they are sorry, they couldn't, take up the responsibility of paying salaries and stuff like that. So I took a facility of 500,000 naira at the interest rate of 24%. I'm sure it's 25%, and to pay back in 36 months. I had no problem with it because I needed it at that material time. One would have expected, immediately they asked me to go, that they will have rescheduled, my bank will have sat down, because I took the letter of separation to that bank to show them that from this particular moment, I'm out of this place. And I'd expected them to say, okay, let's sit down, let's reschedule this thing. How do you want to pay back? And immediately the gratuity was paid, they took it off from source. Almost my entire gratuity that was paid to me by my company was taken away by the bank. Surviving those months, even from then till now, has always been, in fact, has been so traumatic. So what I could have done differently, actually, apart from going for savings, I probably could have gone to all these cooperative societies. They will reschedule it and probably make it, in fact, the interest rates are usually very small.
In July 2020, the Central Bank of Nigeria granted the request of 22 banks to restructure 35,639 loans, representing 41.9% of total industry loan portfolio, all in effort to protect banks and give debtors more time to pay. But job losses are still ongoing in the country. At least 39.4 million Nigerians were projected to be out of work by the end of 2020, according to government figures. Many of these would turn to microfinance banks and other lenders for a lifeline. Taiwo Joda, who heads Accion Bank, is the chairman of an association of 174 microfinance banks in Lagos State. He tells me how many loans are in default in his bank and what banks are doing to help in this period.
Across the industry, we should be talking about an average of about 20% of the total loans in default. In our bank, it's lower than that. The worst month we had was 16% in terms of the average loan default.
how are you restructuring this loan?
Well, there are strict guidelines from the Central Bank of Nigeria on how microfinance banks are meant to restructure. So restructure takes varying formats, but it goes from interest rate reduction. We gave about 20% reduction in interest rates for all our customers. We gave extended term on the loans, and we also gave tax interest holidays and principal holidays for up to 150 days for some of our customers. But in all, the Central Bank of Nigeria has said that there is no extension of tenure that can go beyond February of 2021.
One of the biggest challenges of the pandemic is the fact that a lot of people have lost their jobs. Now, someone who has lost his job will definitely find it difficult to even work with the restructure. How do you deal with that?
That's an unfortunate situation. If you've lost your job, the first thing we want to do is to know whether you can do any business. So, like last week, we had 100 people with SME specialists teaching them on how to do businesses, and that was fully funded by Accion Microfinance Bank. But beyond the possibility of loss of job, there are insurance cover for the loans against burglary, against theft, against fire, against death, or permanent disability. Yes, so the insurance company takes that up and repay when those events occur.